All right, you are looking live in Chicago right now, where they're conducting what they call a People and Planet First budget, a coalition called Fair Economy Illinois, making a push for $23 billion in new revenue that will come from a variety of taxes on the wealthy, traders at the CME and elsewhere, to put things up for everything from education to more bus service, train service, better transportation. It covers a broad panoply of issues, but a lot of this sounds familiar. It's because this same city was grappling with these same frozen budget issues. They have a Democratic legislature, a Republican governor, and nothing has been solved, and people are getting angry. And it's something we see playing out across the globe. In Greece today, protests in Athens. Ashley Webster, of course, has covered many of these things. He joins us, as well as Connell McShane, who's covered his share of worker angst around the globe. And Jeff Locke in the middle of all of that in Chicago. Jeff, to you first. It seems to be getting more crowded and seems to be getting more loud.
Yeah, it is, and the protesters are sticking right with it. They are effectively shutting this building down. This is Citadel Capital Management. This is the hedge fund operated and founded by Ken Griffin. And a particular target here, as you can see, they're saying if we don't get it, shut it down. And this is a very vociferous protest. At this point, it is not violent, but there is clear civil disobedience going on. As you see, perhaps from the pictures, Neil, we are not seeing any police officers. We're seeing plenty of protesters who have now shut these entrances and exits down to Citadel Senator here, and folks inside the building as well. Maybe if we move our camera farther down, you can see the protesters that gained access. There is a police officer or two on the inside, presumably attempting to get those protesters out, but they have now sat down. And if we get through the crowd here, maybe you can see that. Earlier, they were standing blocking the entrances. They are now sitting down inside the lobby of Citadel Center, and the protesters are outside blocking these doors. You see this gentleman here to my right who is got his hands on the doors. Nobody's coming in or out. Police officer, as you can see inside, or maybe you can see off to the right there, Dave, inside there's one police officer or two, but on the outside here, in terms of protesters that are blocking the outside, I don't see any police officers. This is the scene here. There have been other Moral Mondays protests that have taken place. We famously covered one over at the CME where they were successful in shutting that building down. There are fewer entrances to this one, though. This is a fairly new building. Citadel Center used to be the site of the old Sears headquarters. Maybe that tells you something about how things have changed in Chicago and priorities. But at any rate, that's where the protest stands at the moment. Presumably, protesters won't be here forever, but for now, they have succeeded in shutting this building down.
Has anyone tried to leave the building, though? Because they're not all billionaires in that building. Some of them are secretaries, assistants, I don't know, security personnel. I mean, have any of them tried to leave and say, look, I'm not the hedge fund dude?
You can perhaps see there are a number of employees that are at the elevator banks just inside security there. These are people that presumably, I'm not able to talk to them on the inside yet, but that would like to leave, but at this point the doors are shut. And I don't know a whole lot about the security in this building, but at the CME there are multiple entrances and exits. But one thing you have, if you try to shut that place down, you almost can't do it. There are too many ways in, underground, above ground. There are just too many ways to get into the building and to leave the building, consequently. This one, however, though the security is fairly tight, there are fairly controlled entrances and exits, and currently the ones that are controlled are now controlled by the protesters. And so, in answer to your question, sorry for the long answer, but there are a lot of people, I think, that do want to come out that are not at this point able to come out, and they don't look like billionaires to me, but there you go.